This room, it's sort of hard to figure out what to call it. It was used as a library by Governor Belcher, and this is where the very small New Jersey legislature would have met when they were meeting with the governor. And by the families, this was used as a dining room, and it's had just multiple uses of it, and the use of the parlor as well. The fireplace is absolutely magnificent. It is late 18th century, early 19th century, or common in that period. It has been altered, as you can see, for use of coal. It could have been camel coal, which was a very efficient heating coal used, but essentially it was not originally designed for coal. It would have been designed for wood. So this is an alteration of the fireplace and probably bringing the back forward just a little bit. On top of the mantel here are pictures of the house and also the sacking of the house. So in 1778, the house was sacked by the British and all of the contents were taken out onto East Jersey Street and burned. The British soldiers were very annoyed at having this capturing General Washington at the wedding, and actually his entire military staff actually attended the wedding, which we'll discuss a little bit later. But the contents of the house would have been quite valuable because the Smith family had purchased the estate of Governor Belcher, and among the things they had were family portraits done by Sir Godfrey Kneller. Godfrey Kneller was a London painter who would have painted the royal family. He was the tippy-top artist of the period, so the Smith family clearly was very wealthy. In some of the histories of Elizabeth, William Peartree Smith it was said that his father was Port Royal Smith, a royal governor general of Jamaica. Research has not been able to verify that, and it appears to me most likely that he was a privateer or a pirate, which might account for his great amount of wealth, that he was able to buy the house and live rather well and marry well as well. His wife's father was the mayor of New York. The picture over here is a picture of an event that took place in Princeton, and the room and its furnishings probably never existed. It was merely a recording of the people who were here. Possibly the dresses are accurate, but the same people that were many of the same people that were at that Princeton event would have been here for the marriage of Catherine Peartree Smith to Elisha Boudinot. As you know, Elias Boudinot lived up the street at Boxwood Hall, and this is his brother Elisha. And the marriage took place, a good part of it, in this room, and we have a number of items from that wedding which we'll show you a little bit later. This is the front entrance to the house. Essentially, people coming here on formal visits would be greeted at the door. Greetings in colonial times tended to be quite formal, and the proper people would be greeted appropriately at the front door. In the royal governor's house would have been kept a store of weapons, pistols and rifles, and they, in typical British fashion, would have been displayed on the walls. They would be one of the important aspects of a governor, he being the head of the local army. And actually, I believe Belcher was listed as an admiral, so he had a royal rank that would give him full powers of command of military actions if that should be necessary. This is pretty original to what it looked like. The stairway has all the fine features of an 18th century stairway. The newel post itself is traditionally attached to the floor with a wedge system, and it's an extremely solid stairway. Before Governor Belcher came here, this was the end of the house. The house stopped right at this wall. In 1750 or so, this house was expanded to make room for the governor, and it was an adjustment he asked for as one of the inducements that would bring him up from Burlington, where he had been living. Burlington was not considered healthy, and it had probably typhoid or cholera, and that Elizabeth had a more healthful environment, and he was induced to come here on the basis of the climate and the health reasons, as well as the fact that the house would be enlarged for his use. Air conditioning. And in this hall, in the somewhat colonial fashion, there was a constant breeze going through the house in the summertime, and that would essentially keep the house cool in the summer, or more tolerable, I guess. Behind the house, there was a walk through the orchard all the way to the river, and you'll notice, I think there's a St. Andrew's cross is mentioned in one of the early descriptions of the room.